Hello, and welcome back to Educator.com, AP World History. We're still in Period 4, Nationalism, Revolution, and Reform. And remember, 1750 to 1900 is the period that we're studying. So, in this session, we're looking at political ideologies. In today's world, political ideologies are really an important part of trying to understand what's happening in politics in any place in the world. Well, this is the origins of those political philosophies. So, and they're European, but what happens in Europe doesn't stay in Europe. That these ideas are going to flow around the world. Where do they come from? Well, and we're going to look at three today. We're going to look at liberalism, socialism, and communism. All in a few minutes. We'll do it. I want you to see that most of what we're looking at are reactions, forming some ideas in reaction to something you don't like. So liberalism is a reaction against monarchism. And not just ordinary monarchism, perhaps, but absolute monarchism. It has nothing to do with vodka. It means that the king there was no authority other than the king. God said, you're in charge, and so my job as a citizen is to obey the king. King is always right. That's rule number one. And rule number two is refer to rule number one. But we saw abuses of power. We saw people feeling that they were being wronged, and they developed an idea of people having rights and so forth, which we call liberalism. And socialism, and with this liberalism, we're going to have an economic system come out of it called capitalism. Liberal meaning free, and capitalism meaning people are free to start businesses, to earn money, and so forth. All right, so then socialism comes out of what we would call the excesses of capitalism. There's problems with capitalism, and we want to deal with them, and we develop a philosophy of how to do it called socialism. And communism really is one kind of socialism that says all the other socialisms are really bad. We have the exact right idea about how socialism should be and do it our way. All right? So I see them all in reaction to the other. So let's take a look at liberalism. There's no question, but it comes out of Enlightenment thinking. So people should govern themselves. This idea of absolute monarchy is just inherently wrong. There's no way a king who would given that amount of power wouldn't misuse it. So it's wrong. Education is important because now if citizens are going to be running their own country, they'd better be informed about things and have good reason and ways in which to approach logically the problems of their times and not be fooled by other people. And people should be free. to pursue whatever they want to do in their own lives, as long as they're not damaging other people. And government's job is to protect the rights of the people. So government needs to be restrained, because too much government causes trouble. But it has to be strong enough to protect the rights of the people so they can pursue their dreams and accomplish things in their lives that they would like to. And so we're going to have a somewhat open society so that nobody gets pushed down because of their religion or their way of life. So that's liberalism. Socialism. Socialism comes about because this liberalism doesn't seem to be doing a right kind of job. That there's really, this early industrial revolution produces poverty on the majority. People are not doing well. We look around and we see things going wrong. We see the environment being deteriorated. We see poor people stuck in very unhealthy, unwholesome ways. This can't be the right answer. And it's being perpetuated by the new capitalists. The people that own the factories and run the businesses are very wealthy, and they've got government on their side. Government to side with them against the complaints of the workers. So socialists say, ooh, we've got to make some changes. So how do we do this? So early socialists worked to find ways for the workers to have a greater share in the profits of the industries they worked for. So that we want an alternative to the capitalist system. And we'll get that on a continuum of, we'll ask for it, we'll gradually achieve it through legislation, or on the other end, we need a revolution, shoot those people, kill them, and let's take over. So we have a continuum of socialists, from those who are moderate to those who are radical. And of course, and an example of this happening is the Paris Commune of 1781. The Franco-Prussian War was a war, we would say, between Germany and France. But Germany really wasn't a unified country. And this particular war was engineered really to bring them together, to produce a Germany, to give them a victory, to give them more territory, and to say, we are the German people. It was 1870 to 71. And the Commune just means the local government of Paris. The people elected socialists to run Paris. And you can see that the humiliation of the battle that France has lost after winning so many, in their history with Napoleon and so forth, that they were on top. Now they're on the bottom. What are they going to do? People are desperate.